Hey guys, Chris here. Today, let's talk about market bubbles, plateaus, and gray swans. So, for probably the last 6 months or so, I've been looking at the AI market or AI in the contact center market really as sort of bubblicious, right? Like it felt like maybe we're hitting a bubble with a ton of companies jumping in. Some of them couldn't even spell contact center a year ago, and some of them can't spell AI most days, but there's just hundreds, probably at this point, of companies doing pretty much the same thing, which is effectively they're either doing voice automation and chatbots, which has become so much easier to do today than it was even a year ago, or they're doing some flavor of call summarization or quality assurance automation or sentiment analysis, CSAT, any of that, where you're taking a call transcript, evaluating that against some criteria through a prompt, generating output data, and then put a front end on it, and all of a sudden you have a product. And so we had already seen some of the air coming out of that, but because there's been some carnage with some kind of higher profile startups going out of business, and then just noise around sort of deciphering the difference. And so last week, DeepSeek came out with their R1 model and kind of took the world by surprise. Now, it wasn't a black swan event in the sense that ChatGPT was, or these GPT models when they first came out were paradigm shifting. But it reset the market in a lot of ways because it opened up a new set of capabilities that we didn't have a week ago. It is now possible to run one of the versions of these great models on commodity hardware, or there's cloud hosting providers that have the full model, super cheap in comparison to where the paradigm was at for this a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And so what that's done is now unlock new capabilities to tackle new complexity. And what I think is happening now is that the market probably wasn't at a bubble, but more of a plateau where everybody's reached the same level now. And everybody's run around in circles trying to figure out the next thing or how to differentiate. And some of those folks will now see the opportunity that these new models and new paradigm can unlock to build new products into new categories, bring new capabilities to market. There will be a cohort that doesn't. And the reason for that is because these models introduce new capabilities that most people don't have the context to apply. So if you see a model and it's touting benchmarks around PhD capabilities, and if you're not a PhD, or you don't know how to think about it, or you don't know how to ask the right questions, you don't have the context for that, you're going to not get any different results out of an O1 model versus a GPT-4 model or a Sonnet than anything else. However, once you start to understand the capabilities that say a model that not only can generate code, but can tell you what code to generate, or not just create data, but actually have the intelligence to bring in vertical context to analyze that data and find new trends and to do that on the fly, there will be an entirely new category of companies and solutions that emerge out of that. And so, again, coming back to where I think we're at, I think we're going to continue to see companies that hit that plateau. We've hit their level of competence and vision, from a capability standpoint, because they've been focused on automating things we already know how to do. And then we'll see people that keep climbing the mountain to the summit that separate themselves by bringing new stuff to market that couldn't exist a couple of weeks ago. Some of that will be fueled by these new open source models where we can buy a Mac Mini and generate data 24/7 now, and it's great data. And then still leverage some of these other models to do higher computationally intensive things or reasoning intensive things to generate those insights. But that will be done in a way now that it is far more accessible to people and to companies. And so I'm expecting we're going to see a whole lot of new innovation until we reach the next summit.